They say that your life is not determined by what you want, but what your standards are. For example, the body that you have right now, whether it's lean and toned or a little flabby and a bit overweight, that's your standard. The success that you enjoy in your career, whether you're switching from job to job or are thriving as the CEO of your own company or a professional working your dream career, that's your standard. The relationship that you have, whether you are in a broken relationship, a loving one, that's your standard. So this quote has really stuck with me and changed my mindset on how I approach things. It has taught me not to settle, whether it's with my health, relationship, or career. What are the different metrics of standard? According to Tony Robbins, there are 4 metrics. We have poor, good, excellent, and outstanding. So if you have poor standards, you get poor results. This is at the very bottom. People with poor standards are not hard to spot. They're super easy to spot because they're highly unreliable, always late for work, don't show up, they don't deliver, they never stick to one thing, and they keep on transferring from one thing to another, from one job to another. They only do things when it's convenient or when it's still new or exciting. But once the excitement wears off, once they don't feel like doing it anymore, once it becomes hard, as all things eventually do, then they move on to the next new thing. So these are the people who make New Year's resolutions every year to lose weight, start working out in January, and then slack off for the rest of the year. People who have poor standards get nothing much out of life. Remember, you get what you put in. So if you put nothing much in, then what will you get? Nothing. Then from poor, there's a giant jump to the next standard, which is good, which is what most of us are. Most of us are thought to be good. Good means showing up, doing what's expected, but never above average. Being good used to mean you'd be fine. Before this was true, you were good, you'd get good rewards, but not anymore. Now, if you're good, you get poor rewards. Doing a good job at work will lead you to either getting passed on for a promotion or maybe even getting fired. If you're in sales like me, you'd probably close deals every now and then, but not consistently. Settling for good in your relationship will most likely lead to a marriage without passion. In today's day and age, good is no longer good enough because now people expect more. People have more options now. However, if you are an achiever, you jump from good to the next standard, which is excellent. It's another big jump from this level to the next. Good to excellent. So when you have this standard, you don't settle for good, you expect more. You demand more. You do more. You stay up later than the rest. You put in those extra work, those extra hours, work when others are already taking a break or relaxing. You do what is necessary, whether you feel like doing it or not. You're willing to work for over a decade to move toward your goal. Now, what do you get when you are excellent? You get good results. This might be enough for most, but not for the overachievers because they want excellent results. Now, there's another level that is just 2 millimeters above excellent, and that is outstanding. Unlike from good to excellent, it takes only a small jump to go from excellent to outstanding, to keep pushing your own boundaries, even when it feels like you have nothing left to give, to keep going even when it's hard. And when you keep going, when you don't stop, a door will eventually open up and then you can have it all. Good health, financial freedom, amazing relationships, a great career. When you're willing to go beyond and do something that no one has ever done before, when you're willing to walk the path less traveled, when you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal, decide now not to settle. Decide to want more and to become more. This is what it means to have outstanding standards, and this makes all the difference. Now, how does one become outstanding? Over the years of trying out different things, growing in my career, and studying successful people, I have noticed 2 things that allow a person to grow from beginner to outstanding. The first is focus. Focus means choosing one thing to improve on and committing to it for at least a decade. It's about directing your time, energy, and attention toward a clear goal while blocking out everything that doesn't bring you closer to it. True focus requires the courage to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to the best ones, to the right one. It's about resisting the urge to jump from one thing to another and instead going deep, not wide, in your chosen craft or career. When you are laser focused, your actions become more intentional, you stop wasting time on tasks that don't matter, and you start making measurable progress. Focus also brings mastery. It's about repetition, practice, deliberate improvement. You put in the work, you refine your skills, you embrace feedback and evaluation so you consistently raise your level of performance. There is no shortcut to excellence. There is no shortcut to success. You have to earn it through patience, practice, persistence. And this requires focus. Consistency is the compound interest of efforts. So if focus sets the direction, consistency is what keeps you moving forward even when the motivation fades. Success is less about intensity and more about regularity. So it's about showing up, putting in the effort, and making progress, especially when no one is watching. And the results are not instant. When you act consistently, you form habits, and habits make it easier to stay productive without burning out. Over time, small, steady actions compound. The results may seem invisible at first, but eventually they add up in a big way. In fact, a consistent person with average skills will often outperform someone who is more talented but lacks discipline. Why? Because consistent people keep going. They finish what they start. They have a bias for action. As blunt as it may sound, consistent people beat inconsistent people, which is most people. So you must first become consistent before you can ever hope to becoming exceptional. So the winning combination is focus and consistency. Those are the two things that you need to do. Because with that, you create a powerful engine for long-term success. Focus keeps you aligned, consistency keeps you moving. Choose your path, show up every day, improve relentlessly. That's how excellence is built, not in a week, not in a month, but over years of doing the right thing, the same thing, again and again and again. And that is how you raise the bar.